Hi guys, Rebecca here, and I'm going to do a real quick Irma update for you guys. As of this morning, let me see if I can get it up here. As of this morning, our hurricane is here, and it's expected to come up towards Florida, tip of Florida here, then go along the coast, east coast, and eventually make its way up through the states between Georgia and South Carolina areas. Hurricane Irma has caused widespread destruction across the Caribbean, reducing buildings to rubble and leaving at least 9 people or more dead. Irma is being called the most powerful Atlantic storm in a decade. As of early Thursday, Irma had maximum sustained winds of 180 miles per hour as it moved away from the northern coast of Puerto Rico and over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Wind speeds are down slightly, but only by 5 miles per hour, and that's according to the National Weather Service. Florida Governor Rick Scott has declared a statewide emergency. That was earlier this week, and has warned that the massive storm could be more treacherous than Hurricane Andrew, which devastated the Sunshine State 25 years ago. There are mandatory evacuations in 2 Florida counties, Monroe County and Miami-Dade County, and also from what I recall, JetBlue is offering $99 one-way tickets. There's been one death of a child, and that was reported in Barbuda. Prime Minister Gaston Brown said 95% of the buildings there had sustained damage. Prime Minister Gas said it's absolutely devastation. He said this while flying over the island home to 1,600 people. The island is literally underwater, and that, in his view, as it stands now, Barbuda is barely inhabitable. San Martin, an island in French territory, in the Dutch section of Saint Martin, suffered tremendous damage. At this time, 3 people had died in Puerto Rico, according to the governor's office there. And U.S. territory capital San Juan saw waves up to 30 feet. More than 6,000 residents are in shelter and many more without power. Anguilla and the British Virgin Islands are also caught up in the extreme weather. At least one death has been reported on Anguilla. Turks and Caicos Islands, a British overseas territory, are said to be at risk of storm surge, with the possibility of destructive waves up to 20 feet higher than usual. The U.S. Emergency Agency has said that Hurricane Irma will have a truly devastating impact when it hits southern coastal areas in the United States. Okay, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper declared a state of emergency Wednesday afternoon for the entire state ahead of Hurricane Irma. They said there is no certainty as to if this is going to be a coastal event, western event, or if it's going to go right or up through the middle of the state. So they are urging all people in North Carolina to be prepared for the impacts of Hurricane Irma. And I put together a list of ways to prepare for a hurricane. Have an evacuation plan. If you live in an area near below sea level, an evacuation plan is essential. Swell of water that can reach upward of 20 feet or hundreds of miles of coastline. Water can enter your home, block roads, making it difficult to get to dry land. Know where your nearest evacuation center is, regardless of your home's elevation. Have a route mapped out so that if your local authorities issue an evacuation notice, then you'll know where you're going. Make sure your cell phones and other electronics are charged and use them sparingly. You should repair and reinforce your home before a storm. Repair leaky roofs, loose shingles, siding, and structural issues that should be addressed. Trim your trees and remove any branches that aren't fully attached. That way, when it's really windy, they don't go flying around. Anything outside your home that can be blown away or cause damage by being thrown by strong winds should be brought inside. You should clear your storm drains and gutters so that water can be properly diverted away from your home. Plywood sheets can be bought and hammered into place over windows. to protect against flying debris. In less affected areas, you can use duct tape, packaging tape, that can be used to create X shapes across windows to prevent shattering. You should always stay aware. Make sure that you listen to your emergency broadcast alerts that you receive through text message or emails. You can also search the internet with the name of your town and the word alerts and learn how you can sign up to get the alerts that you need. People should always stock up. You should have a kit that includes enough food and water for 3 days, cash, medications, blankets, clothes, and in-home emergency supplies such as first aid kit, battery-powered radio, flashlights, extra batteries, a loud whistle, and local maps. You should set your freezers and refrigerators to the coldest settings and open the doors sparingly so you can keep your food cold in case you lose power. Also, generator safety. If you live in an area where having a backup generator is possible, remember that it must be kept outside, away from the windows and doors, and protected from moisture. Your generator can quickly become a fire hazard, and it should never be wired or plugged into a wall outlet inside a home. A lot of people don't think about insurance, so it's good to be insured. Property owners and even renters should have insurance. Regular insurance, home insurance, does not cover in case of floods. Flood insurance is expensive, especially in areas near large bodies of water, but it can prove to be worthwhile in the aftermath of a hurricane. Also, think about your pets. Your pets are often overlooked during natural disasters, and if you end up in a situation where you're unable to care for your animal in an emergency, consider a local animal shelter, family, or friends to take your pets. Never leave an animal behind in a home that might flood or tied up outside where they could be critically injured by the storm. And we saw some cases of that in Texas, but most of the people in Texas took their animals with them, and there is always a place to take them to. Make copies of your birth certificates, insurance, and proof of ownership documents, forms of identification, social security cards, medical coverage papers, and any other paperwork essential to your life needs that need to be photocopied and placed in a waterproof bin. That way, if they get flooded, they are not lost. Anyway, you guys, that's my quick update, and much love, and I will talk to you guys later.